Hey, this is Amanda Chen, founder of Salty Paloma. Welcome to my channel where I talk about business advice for the non-business minded. In today's video, let's talk about how to launch an online business, where I share my personal story about starting up Salty Paloma with some ideas on how to launch a successful business online for yourself. So before we get started, I want you to just think really hard on exactly why you want to launch this new business. Is it a product that doesn't exist yet in the market? Do you have a better version of how to market a specific product? What is the exact reason for you wanting to launch this business? And make sure that whatever that reason is, it is exclusively just for you and for you only. So when I started Salty Paloma, I come from a background of content and social media marketing. I used to work with tons of clients and I would have amazing ideas on how to market their products, and sometimes it just wouldn't go through. So it was really discouraging and really disappointing, and I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna launch my own product and market it exactly the way that I want, how I want it. So that is really how Salty Paloma was born. The first thing that you wanna do is set a deadline. This is super important because you don't wanna just start by starting and navigating around until eventually everything kind of comes together. What you wanna do is set exactly the time and date that you want your website to exist and be live, and then work backwards. Figure out what you need on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, and then on a daily basis so that you can stay on track to reach that one date. So that would be the first thing to do. For me, I decided that my launch date was January 1st, 2017. The most important thing for me in terms of launching a business in 2020 and making sure it's successful is if you own all of the digital channels that you're gonna be making communications on. So I own saltypaloma.com. It's not .net, it's not .co, it's not .inc, it's not something else, it's .com. Honestly, I still believe that you should have whatever your name is .com. I don't really believe in the .nets, .anything else, because you want to own every other digital channel. That means I want @SaltyPaloma Instagram. I want Salty Paloma on YouTube. I want Salty Paloma on Twitter. I want to own all those things. So if someone already owns something .com, find a different way to rename your product, because then you're going to have to compete with them and it'll confuse your audience a little bit. So you really want to make sure that what you have, that name stands out, it's ownable, and it's just yours. Another way to make sure that you get all of those things is to create a Gmail account. So I own saltypaloma@gmail.com, and from there I can use that as my account to get into Instagram or Facebook or anything else that's not from my personal email account. That way you can separate your business account from your personal accounts if you want to have multiple accounts, and you don't really have to invest yet in, let's say, Amanda@saltypaloma.com. We'll get into that into more detail in another video, but what you want to know is just like at the bare minimum, make sure you own everything that you can for free. Scoping out your competition is going to be very specific. You want to look at the category as a whole. So Salty Paloma sells flavored salts and sugars. There's a ton of salt companies out there that sell rock salt, that sell table salt, that sell bath salts. What salts am I going to sell? I'm selling edible salt. So then now I'm going to go further into kitchen stuff. We're looking at spices and flavored salts, and immediately I can see that there's gourmet salts out there. There's salts at Whole Foods. There's salts at Williams-Sonoma. There's salts at HomeSense. There's so many different types of salts out there. After you figure out who your main players are in whatever it is, now you want to jump out of that competition and create a category of your own. There are a ton of gourmet salts out there that are flavored, that are infused with different types of herbs and garnishes and everything, but there is no company out there right now that markets high quality flavored salts and sugars specifically to elevate your cocktails. That is a space that I can own by myself exclusively, and I don't have to play with everybody else. So it's good to know the landscape of what everyone is doing in that space so you can carve out your own category there. On top of being Salty Paloma, a place where you can get handcrafted, artisan, high quality flavored salts and sugars, specifically to elevate your cocktails, it's to elevate your cocktails at home for people bartending at home. So that's another thing you want to figure out is who exactly are you marketing to? And what are you going to do differently so that those people are going to gravitate towards you and your product? So with Salty Paloma, the entire brand is about creating an approachable way to make cocktailing easy at home. That means everything that I create has to be easier for people at home to host an amazing party and impress their guests without too much effort. That is essentially what I am delivering as Salty Paloma. So you got to figure out what that is that you are doing differently with your product. So the next thing you want to figure out is exactly what you want to launch with as soon as it goes live. Easy question, but actually, how many products are you selling? Are there multiple categories? Are there multiple sizes? Are there multiple colors? Right now at the Salty Paloma website, you can choose between 7 different flavors of salts and sugars. On top of that, you can also purchase a virtual cocktail class with us. You can also purchase merchandise. You can purchase t-shirts as well. So there's a multitude of different things that you can host on your website, but you don't want to start with all of those things. You want to just start with your hero product and some alternatives to that hero product. So obviously our hero product is the Fiesta. It is our OG margarita salt made with Himalayan sea salt, lime, and grapefruit. From there, I knew I wanted to do one other product, which is going to be a flavored sugar. That was Heartbreaker. It is a raw cane sugar infused with grapefruit for anyone that wants a sweeter version than the salt that we have for margaritas. The third product I added was Dynamite, and that was just a wild card for me. The reason why I chose a trio is so that there's opportunity to upsell. Now, you don't have to follow this framework. You can just have your one hero product, but figure out different ways on how you can cross-sell or upsell in case you want to obviously expand your shop to have more than one product. Another thing to note is to visualize success. Figure out exactly what would make you happy with launching your business. Is it just to have it out there on the internet? Do you want people to use it? Do you want specific types of people to use it? Do you want to be on the news? What exactly is going to be your version of success to be like, yes, I made it today. I'm proud of myself. I love what it looks like. Figure out exactly what that is so that you can reach towards that goal. So for me, I didn't just want my products to exist on my online site. Yes, it's available for purchase. Yes, you can go directly online. Yes, I have my own photos. I have my own packaging. I have everything that I can say that is my own. But on top of that, I wanted Salty Paloma to exist in other people's stores. So for me, I had to visualize what is the number one target store that I want to see my product exist in. And that is the Cocktail Emporium in downtown Toronto. It is the number one place to go shopping for anything cocktail related. So for me, I thought, okay, how is it going to fit into that store? So I went in and I visited the store multiple times and I thought of how am I going to package and market my product so that it's desirable for this store and it fits in naturally with the existing aesthetic of that store. The second thing I wanted to figure out is how would it stand out from all the other competitors that exist in that store. There's going to be lots of other garnishes and salts out there, so how is my product going to stand out in a way that people will not be able to ignore it? Before my product even existed, before I even knew what I was making, I sent an email to the owner of the Cocktail Emporium asking if they would be interested in trying my products. I didn't say you had to buy it, I just said try it. They loved it. They ended up buying the products in February, which was a month after I launched my website. And even now, 3 years later, they're one of our key wholesale accounts and continue to purchase on a regular basis. And last but not least, just have fun. Make sure that you are in for this ride for the long haul. I don't know how to stress this enough, just don't be so serious about it. Things are gonna change, you're gonna have to adapt. That's fine, that's part of life. Right now, just make sure that you're having fun, you're enjoying yourself, and you're doing something that you are really happy to do. This is your baby, so you can do it in any way, shape, or form you want, and it's gonna look exactly the way that you want it to. You are in full control over this. So make sure that you're not letting other people tell you how to do things, tell you that this or that. Make sure that everything you're doing is true to yourself, feels authentic to you, and no matter what, you're going to be happy with that result. So that's my personal take on how to launch a successful online business. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please let me know in your comments if you have any additional questions on how to launch your business and anything else that you want to know. And make sure to like and subscribe on our channel because I will be launching new videos every week on business advice for the non-business minded. Cheers.